UN warns era of dictators can happen again, call for action. UN Rights Chief Volker Turk warned Monday of a return to an era of dictators. European Union eases sanctions on key Syria economic sectors. European Union on Monday eased sanctions on Syria's energy, transport and banking sectors in a bid to help a country's reconstruction after fall of Bashar al-Assad. Move aims to support its inclusive transitions with sanctions potentially reinstated if promises are broken. Philippines, Japan agree to further enhance their defense partnership. Indonesian men sentenced to public flogging for gay sex. Merz on course to take Germany's top job, pledges to unite Europe. We are under such massive pressure. My absolute priority now is really to create unity in Europe, says the conservative leader. His CDU bloc won Germany's national election with 28.5% votes, while the far-right AfD finished second. Xi affirms no limits partnership with Putin in a phone call. Chinese President Xi Jinping reaffirmed his no limits partnership in a phone call with Russian President. Trump Putin discusses major deals as part of peace efforts. Ukraine war will only halt with deal that suits Russia. Russia said on Monday it was ready for talks for a 3-year-old war in Ukraine, but would only stop fighting when a peace settlement suits Moscow. Russia also said it was trying to settle the Ukraine conflict with the United States, but that Europe wanted the war to continue. Foreign Minister Lavrov held talks in Turkey on the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. US resolution urging end to Ukraine war fails to get UNGA nod. It's in a win for Ukraine on the third anniversary. United States on Monday failed to get UNGA to approve its resolution urging to end war without mentioning Moscow's aggression. An assembly approved a dueling European-backed Ukrainian resolution demanding Russia immediately withdraw from Ukraine. It marks a setback for the Trump administration and a 193-member world body whose resolutions are not legally binding but are seen as a barometer of world opinion. But it also shows some diminished support for Ukraine, whose resolution passed 93-18 with 65 absentee. Residents attacked Bangladesh airbase, soldiers on open fire. Indian companies added to the list as Britain EU announced additional Russia-related sanctions. The European Union and the UK mark the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine with a slew of additional sanctions related to Moscow and those doing business with it. Indian entities are among those impacted by these measures. This move came as several Western heads of government, including European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, visited Kiev in a show of support for Ukraine. India-UK resume FTA negotiations. India and the United Kingdom on Monday restarted negotiations for a trade pact. The announcement was made jointly by Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal and the Trade Secretary of UK, Jonathan Reynolds, who is visiting here. Addressing a joint press conference, the visiting trade secretary said the trade pact is of top priority for the government of Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Both sides have agreed to resume negotiations toward a balanced, mutually beneficial, and a forward looking deal that delivers mutual growth and builds on the strength of the complementarity economies. The two leaders directed the negotiators to work together and resolve outstanding issues. India's manufacturing slump prompted February rate cut, a sharp slowdown in the India's manufacturing sector, key driver of job creation, was a major factor in MPC's decision to cut repo rate earlier this month, an external member told the Reuters. In particular, there was a concern about the weaknesses in the manufacturing sector, which is an important for job creation due to subdued urban consumption and slow private investment growth. New India Co-op depositors can now draw up to 25,000. Days after imposing several restrictions on the New India Cooperative Bank, RBI permitted customers to withdraw up to 25,000 from their deposit accounts beginning February 27. Private corporate sector revenues up 8%. M&M unveils Scorpio and Carbon Special Edition. Mahindra and Mahindra has introduced Scorpio and Carbon Edition sports utility vehicle to mark the sale of 2 lakh units for Scorpio N since its introduction. The Scorpio N Carbon expands the realm of Mahindra's authentic SUVs with design and sophistication. Working with FSSAI, FSSAI, other bodies to regulate industry, Spices Board, Indian tech industry revenue projected to grow 5.1% even as job losses concerns persist. Indices fall to 8-month low on US growth concerns. Kota Cares initiative rolls out steps to support students in coaching hub. Weekly rest for pilots will be raised to 48 hours from July 1. PM names celebrities to add heft to battle against rising obesity. Emission intensity targets to be released by the month end. Industries will have a year to set up compliance measures. Jaisankar, heads of mission of 61 countries, visit Kaziranga. Regional circular economy. Meet Jaipur from March 3. Assam CM builds a business empire, brought lands in tribal areas. Congress. House panel member questions government on impact of corporate tax cut. US aid Congress BJP takes swipe at each other. US aid projects in question are official government to government partnership transparently executed as externally aided projects. Center simply channels these funds to states, which is well within the framework of cooperative federalism. Kumbh panel will also look into loss of life and property. Internet shutdowns highest in 2014. Globally, India tops in government ordered curbs. Doctors above politics, says Mamita as she hikes salaries. Court rejects Kerala's BJP leader's bail plea. MP receives proposals of 3 lakh crore on the first day of the mega investor summit. Our aim is to reach defense exports worth 550,000 crore by 2029, says Rajnath Singh. Defense exports worth 50,000 crore by 2025. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh on Monday said India has achieved 80% self-sufficiency in ammunition production and defense exports has reached about 23,000 crore. He was speaking at 16th Foundation Day of the Indian Institute of Technology Monday. Our goal is to reach 50,000 crore in defense exports. Minister said the government was committed to creating a robust defense industry in India which supported the security of the nation and contributed to the country's economic growth. He called upon IIT Mandi students to contribute to this vision by focusing on technological solutions that would enhance India's defense capabilities and further advance the nation's self reliance in this critical sector. Emphasizing the necessity of innovation and knowledge creation in shaping the future of technology. Mr. Singh underscored the importance of fostering a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation that would allow India to lead in emerging fields including artificial intelligence, machine learning, and digital technologies. He asked the students to excel in technological innovation in order to make India a developed country by 2047. Initiate and advise them to follow the principles of initiate, improve, and transform. IIT Initiate, Improve, and Transform. IIT India's technological sector is on the rise and is expected to reach 300 to 350 billion dollars in the next 5 years. With more than 1.25 lakh startups and 110 unicorns, our country is emerging as the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. Defense Minister highlighted India's digital economy. India's telecom sector is now the second largest in the world. With the success of initiatives like the UPI, India is setting global standards in the digital transactions. We are in the amidst of a parallel digital revolution. The student should actively contribute to the development of India's digital ecosystem. Protesting farmers in Punjab put today's Delhi march on hold. Women's death in car crash in Bengal sparks harassment claims. Scientists propose tabletop test to check quantumness of gravity. Unlike Newtonian mechanics, where measurement of system doesn't alter it, quantum mechanics dictates that observing a system forces it into definite state. This difference creates a way to test whether a system is behaving according to Newtonian or quantum mechanics. General relativity and quantum mechanics are two highly successful theories. The former explains gravity and the latter teams up with special relativity to describe the other three forces of nature: electromagnetic, strong nuclear, and weak nuclear forces. However, scientists don't know how gravity fits into quantum mechanics. In fact, they have been proposing experiments that they test the quantumness of gravity. On October 29, one such proposal appeared in journal Physics Review Letters with concepts of like superposition illustrated by Schrödinger's cat through thought experiment and entanglement. Quantum mechanics defies classical intuition. Quantum mechanics also allows seemingly absurd phenomena. Example, the measurement of quantum system like a particle can cause the system to instantaneously collapse into a possible state that described the system before the measurement. In fact, if a system undergoes measurement-induced collapse, it is said to live by the rules of quantum mechanics. Classical systems like planet orbiting stars, cricket balls flying in the air, and cars on the road don't do this. Multiple experiments have found that both quantum mechanics and general relativity are legitimate theories of nature, yet they remain incompatible with each other. This has encouraged physicists to try and come with larger theory that can accommodate both. One strong contender is string theory, another is loop quantum gravity. Both of them predict deviations from quantum mechanics and general relativity either at the beginning of the universe or inside black holes, meaning they are nearly impossible to test. So far, experimental rest are tests are extremely difficult. The situation looks very bleak. It is not clear if it can be done at all. To check whether gravity is quantum mechanical, scientists need practice precise tests to rule alternate possibilities. The idea is also interesting because it proposes to test weak gravity. Say you're performing an experiment whether you're looking for light. If the light is bright, you can find it just for looking at it, but if it is very dim, you need sophisticated light detecting cameras. Quantum properties usually show up in a measurable way in a system that exists at smaller than microscopic scale, like inside atoms, where gravity is easy to measure around large objects like building. This is why Preparing a special quantum superposition of an object massive enough that its gravitational force is also measurable is enormous experimental challenge. Creating this super Bose, among others, have proposed the use of masses weighing 1 trillionth of a gram while maintaining the separation of around 1/10th of a millimeter. Nanocrystals meet these criteria, yet the test estimates for a decade for their experiment to be conducted. Thus far, the largest objects that have been placed in two places once are macromolecules. We have we will have to put a nanocrystal which is a billion times larger in two places at once. Creating this superposition is by far the main challenge. To do so, the authors have proposed using a quantum property of nanocrystals called spin. Simply speaking, the spin affects the nanocrystal's motion. The spin of each nanocrystal each in motion of two states until it is measured. Since the state affect the nanocrystal part is exist in superposition. The test may reveal gravity isn't a classical force and overall they will keep an open mind. Ultralight solid material through supercritical freezing. Aerosol material invented by Maurice Watt to withstand high heat. Starlight, world's second most material after water. Used material, concrete, armor grade aluminum compound that is transparent. Oxynitride, tin gallium. Atoms that make up in styrene, a topological styrene. Space travel exposes people to different environments, posing psychological and physiological challenges, especially with prolonged exposure. Fresh hurdles delay rescue of eight trapped in Telangana tunnel. In pole-bound Bihar, Modi initiate fund transfer for farmers. Investor pledged 3 lakh crore at MP summit. Merck sees to form a government with Germany's center left. Gupta elected Delhi Speaker. Vijender Gupta. Ukraine says in final stages of talks for mineral deals with the US. Court rejects Kerala BJP's leader play in hate speech case. Round the clock efforts to rescue 8 stuck in the tunnel. Sacred groves in Simlipal turned into enclosure for tigers. Due's fourth year undergraduate course to start amid unclear modalities. Prayagraj Mahakumbh stands as a magnificent symbol of India's unity, harmony, and deep rooted scientific tradition. Celebrated as the world's largest spiritual gathering, it has brought together millions of devotees and visitors from across the globe, transcending boundaries of caste, creed, and nationality. More than 62 crore people have witnessed divine and grand experience of the Prayagraj Mahakumbh, which has become an indelible symbol of India's cultural pride on the global stage. Arrangements are a prime example of how such events can be organized in a grand manner. So that's all for today. See you in the next one.